a real well-wisher of our family, Mr. Chandru Bhutani.
I would now like to invite Mr. Ashutosh Sahai from Capital First. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause and please help me to welcome him. For doing us the honors of felicitating our channel partners. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the most awaited moment. Let's redefine the parameter of success with excellence. Now, what is it about? I give it to Sir.
Yep, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we were planning this launch and this marketing event, my sales team, Yogesh, all of them said, let's get a brand ambassador. So I said, what do you mean? No, we'll get Kareena Kapoor or Katrina Kaif for something. Public will go mad. So I said, what is a brand ambassador supposed to do? So they said, see, she represents the brand. No, they always said she, huh? Represents the brand, believes in the product, believes in the company, really supports the product out there. So I thought to myself that we created the product, blood, sweat, hours of work, approvals from corporation, right, and all of that. And now we should call one of these ladies to come up and be the brand ambassador. I said, no chance, right? So, through the rest of this, in case I see any of you guys kind of napping or with your eyes shut, I won't presume that you're getting bored with what I'm saying. I'll just think that you guys are thinking of a lovely actor or actress, depending on whichever way you kind of swing. To whichever way you swing, is what you'll have up here. So therefore, I will be the brand ambassador for this project and for this product, and I can seriously tell you that I'm extremely happy with the way this project has turned out. And this is one of those projects for me which I personally think I would be happy to kind of talk to anybody about this. I would be happy to pitch it to any HNI. I would be happy to pitch it to anybody. We are really proud of what this team has actually gone ahead and created. So let me quickly get this started. Switch the screens, please. So as we were getting into the prepping of the project and to figure out what we need to do, I'm going to try and use this. Turn it on. Or? I'm sure Katrina Kaif would have done a much better job, right? All right. So as we were doing the planning for the project, what's in front of you on the screen is the development plan of this Baghan area. So there's a horizontal big line, and that green marker indicates Chandni Chowk. So from Chandni Chowk, if you go down 750 meters, you come to the toll naka down the Pout Road. Another 250 meters ahead, you come up to a fork right opposite Athashri, Paranjpe's Athashri. So if you take a left there, in about a kilometer, you come up to the fourth dot, which is where the site is located. And this is a Google image of the site overlap with the same road alignment and the same dots in the same place. And you can see the greenery, and I think you could probably tell that it's a pretty nice hilly kind of area. So we had the contours in such a manner that we felt that at the rear of the property, we should place the buildings. Now, this is totally counterintuitive. Right? People say you put your buildings in the front and you should put the villas at the back. So, but there's a reason why we kind of flipped the whole thing around. And the reason we did this is because the back of the property is surrounded by a forest. It belongs to the government. And one of the things that we realized is while virtually every other hill slope is encroached and becomes slums, the only land which doesn't get encroached upon is the forest land. So we figured that this green forest is going to stay the same and stay as it is going into the future. So we said, let's try and get more people to appreciate the beauty of the forest. How do you get more people to appreciate the beauty of the forest? You put them one on top of the other. So we said, okay, so that's one aspect. Then what we realized is, when you cross about the 5th floor, you go over the hill, right? And you can then look from there at all of Pune. So the view that you get from the restaurants up at Chandni Chowk was actually the view that you will get from beyond the 5th or the 6th floor of the project. Now, it was a shame to put buildings down into the valley and then go ahead and put the villas up at the top, and nobody really gets the view because there's a pretty big steep slope difference between the top and the bottom of the property. So I think a similar kind of flipped over concept is what you'd see at Lavasa, where you see the buildings on the water. Normally you have the highest value, all the big villas should be on the waterfront, but it's flipped over. The buildings are on the water and you have the villas on the hillside. We kind of flipped it around here as well. So we're surrounded by forests and hills, and on the other side we have the biodiversity park. Now, whether you look at it as fortunate or unfortunate, a part of our land is also covered by the biodiversity park. We look at it as a plus point because we know that apart from the 10% mandatory open space that you require to leave, the BDP area will also continue to stay green and untouched. So I think from a development perspective, I think it's a big advantage. It's a big advantage. So as we were looking at this project, and we were figuring out what kind of size, what kind of configuration we should do, we also looked at the neighboring vicinity, and with the prices that are currently in the nearby Kothurud area and Baner hitting 10, 12, 15,000 rupees a square foot, we figured that this being 2 kilometers from Chandni Chowk and maybe 3 from Kothurud, it's a good alternative where we should provide people a luxury project where the price differential is such that they feel that it's an attractive option. We also realized that because the site is tucked away, it's away from the noise, it's away from the pollution.